Hey guys, Yubel Mastery here, and it is time for me to show you the deck profile for the Yubel Inferno deck. So, this deck is supposed to be the sleeker and slimmer version of a Yubel deck, supposed to get what you want quicker and faster. I knew you guys were going to ask me for a deck profile, and if you weren't, I was probably going to do it anyway. I don't know, it's kind of a gimmick scheme. If you YouTube search like Fire King and stuff, of course there's not a lot of videos on it. And if you search Yubel Fire King deck, there is nothing on it. So, let me just be the first one in line to go ahead and jump on this train. And hopefully it'll get me a lot of views and stuff. But mainly it's for you guys that are wondering how the deck runs and what cards are in it. So, first we have two Yubels. For those of you who play Yubel, and for those of you who don't play Yubel, in my opinion, 2 is the best. 1 is too little and 3 is too much. The reason why you play 2 is because you're assuming that 1 is in your hand and 1 is in your deck. So when you're drawing, just in case you draw 1 and then you draw an Armageddon Knight, just knowing that you still have that Yubel in your deck to use Armageddon Knight to send is just good enough. Because if you have 1 and you draw that 1 and then you draw Armageddon Knight and you got a limit reverse, hey, you don't have that other Yubel in your deck, so looks like you're not going to be sending it to the graveyard, so that's the reason why you run 2. You don't run 3 because that can lead to dead draws, and a Yubel deck that has dead draws, that's one of the reasons why it's such a hard deck to deal with. So, let's just keep it to the appropriate amount of 2. We have 1 Terra Incarnate. I'm kind of on the fence about 1 Terra Incarnate. Most of the time you guys can run 2, which is perfectly fine. It's for paranoia purposes only. The reason why you run 2 Terra Incarnates is 1, being removed from play by chaos cards that sure you get to summon your Ultimate Nightmare, but then you can't summon Yubel anymore. And the other thing is for backup card purposes. Let me explain what I mean by that. Let's say you have a Terra Incarnate and you're sitting on it, and it's just doing its thing stalling. Right? And you set a Call of the Hunted, getting ready to summon Doom Shaman to synchro to summon a Scrap Dragon to make that push, to turn into attack. Well, your gameplay into attack. And they MST it. I mean, what are you going to chain into? I mean, you could chain into an Armageddon Knight, drop another Dark, or you could chain into a Yubel, which then would be destroyed, so you could summon another Terra Incarnate, so you'd have 2 Terra Incarnates sitting on the field. Then do your next turn, 1 Terra Incarnate would kill the other one before the other one could kill the other one. That's kind of confusing. So, 1 would turn into an Ultimate Nightmare, so you have Ultimate Nightmare and a Terra Incarnate. I mean, it's up to you, and then next turn that Ultimate Nightmare would get killed. This is also the reason why some Yubel players run 2-2-2, because after that, then you'd have an Ultimate Nightmare and a Terra Incarnate, then maybe next turn make your push and turn that Terra Incarnate into another Ultimate Nightmare. So, let's say you summon Scrap Dragon, you scrap to destroy that Terra Incarnate one of their cards, then you have Scrap Dragon and 2 Ultimate Nightmares, which is a fine play, but this deck can't go for that. This deck has to be as fast and as consistent as possible for a Yubel deck, so I can only run 1 of Terra Incarnate and Ultimate Nightmare. For those of you who don't know, that's a big play in Yubel decks, and these newer Yubel decks. It used to be that you just keep Terra just stalling, but not now. I'm gonna make my push, and I'm gonna make it good. So I'll stall with Terra Incarnate for a little while, but when I'm good and ready and know that you have no response, I'm gonna activate a swing, summon Doom Shaman, summon Tinker, sync for Scrap Dragon, or maybe even Stardust, because if you summon Stardust, then in the end phase, you can either choose for Terra Incarnate to kill Stardust, or you can choose for Stardust to negate Terra Incarnate, destroying Terra Incarnate and summoning Ultimate Nightmare. So then you have Stardust and an Ultimate Nightmare, which is definitely a big, tough wall to get around sometimes. So, those are the Yubels. Next we have 2 Doom Shaman. The reason why I run 2 Doom Shaman is the same reason why I run 2 Yubel. Just keeping that mentality, because after you get Yubel in the graveyard, actually it really depends. Sometimes you want Doom Shaman in the grave first, because maybe you just really want to synchro. Sometimes those hands are just set up, so it's just like, synchro please. So, 2, so 1 in the hand, 1 in the deck. So just keep that mentality. That's the reason why you want 2. Some people do not run Doom Shaman in their Yubel deck, and in my opinion, that is a big sacrifice. Sure, it seems like a big hassle just to summon your Terra Incarnate, and sometimes I would agree. I mean, you're using plenty of cards. You have to send the Doom Shaman to the graveyard. Then sometimes you have to send Yubel to the graveyard if it's not in your hand. Activate the swing, summon the Doom Shaman, use your normal summon to have Doom Shaman get its effect, so you can summon Yubel, and then during your end phase, Doom Shaman will be destroyed either by swing or by Yubel tributing it. Doom Shaman being destroyed, destroying Yubel, which then summons Terra Incarnate. It seems like a lot of work, and sometimes it is, but that's usually a play that sometimes I make, and some people forget that I can even do it. But just having that possibility, plus with Dark Tinker, which I'll get to coming up, you have synchro capabilities. Activating one swing, one call, one monster born for an 8-star synchro sometimes can just be beautiful. So just having both the capability to summon a Terra Incarnate when you need to and synchro summon is just boosts the reason why you should definitely run Doom Shaman in your Yubel deck. Alright, we got 3 Armageddon Knights and 3 Dark Greffers. Consistency, consistency, consistency. I just always find it great to have another Armageddon Knight, another Dark Greffer, the more the merrier, because I need to send these cards. Last thing I need to do is draw a bad hand, and sometimes that happens. I mean, it's a Yubel deck. So let's just decrease those odds of me drawing a bad hand and allow me to get the cards that I want by allowing me to get my Armageddon Knights and my Dark Greffers. Armageddon Knight handles the deck problems a little bit quicker, more consistent than Dark Greffer. He is 1400, which means that he ducks under those bottomless trap holes, which can definitely be a pain sometimes. While Dark Greffer, he's 17, so people would definitely bottomless trap hole him, which sucks, but sometimes it happens. But definitely Dark Greffer is here to handle the cards in your hand. So if you draw a Yubel and a Doom Shaman or anything, one of the Yubels or Tinker in your hand, and hey, you can not only discard them and put them in the graveyard where they're supposed to be, then you can send another dark monster from your deck and send it to the graveyard, which is definitely good. Dark Greffer is good at being special summoned by the hand by discarding a level 5 or higher dark monster, so you can discard to special summon him, normal summon Armageddon Knight, and hey, go into an Exceed play if you want to. Consistency. This is why I run 3 of each of these. You guys don't have to run 3 of each of these, this is your own opinion. Whatever you feel can get the job done and get Yubel and Doom Shaman the cards you need into your graveyard as soon as possible. Dark Tinker, and I only run 1. Some people run 2, but no. I'd say most of the time he's the 3rd card that goes to graveyard. It's Yubel, then it's Doom Shaman, then it's Tinker. Then I don't have to worry about sending out anything else to the graveyard. I can focus on my plays after that. So Tinker, he's a Fiend Tuner, he's level 2. So Doom Shaman uses effect, summon a Fiend from my graveyard, so I can special summon Dark Tinker, sync for 8, and when this card is sent to graveyard, I can look at the top card of my deck, and yeah, I can either return that card to the top or put it at the bottom. So, after synchro summoning, not only do I get the synchro summon, then I get a little bit of preview of what's going to happen next turn, and sometimes it's beautiful. Like, I'll activate a swing, summon Tinker, summon Doom Shaman, summon Tinker, sync for a Black Drago next turn, look at the top card, do Dark Tinker's effect, oh look, another swing, I'm gonna synchro next turn. So, it's definitely a card that you guys should consider running. It's only 8 cents. Out of all the Yubel decks that I've ever made, this is definitely the most budget one, but of course you can't buy this specific one because some of the cards aren't out yet. But the cards are going to be in a structure deck, so the cheap Yubel cards plus the structure deck cards, this is probably the most budget Yubel deck that I've ever made. So if you guys really want to play a strong Yubel deck that's pretty budget, I mean, Dark Greffer got a little bit cheaper, much cheaper. Armageddon is still expensive, but I think that $4.99, I think it asks for the super version. I think there's a rare version of Armageddon Knight, so he's cheaper. Doom Shaman's cheap, the Yubels are cheap, Tinker's cheap, Phoenix is cheap, and he's going to be in a structure deck, so yeah, this looks like a pretty cheap deck. I'd say the most expensive card would probably be this Pot of Duality, but Pot of Duality has become a semi-staple in not only Yubel decks, but just decks in general. So, I know you guys missed him. He got taken out of the Yubel Evolution and Yubel Evolution 2.0. and I think he was out. Yeah, he was out on the fake Yubel deck, but he is back because he can be ran, and I will explain why he is back after being taken out with no ham this time. I know it's weird. It's weird. So he is good for destroying the back row. Not only does he loop with Terra Incarnate, if you guys did not know that, having Terra Incarnate and Phoenix, during the end phase, Terra Incarnate would destroy a monster in the field, destroying Phoenix. Then during your standby phase, Phoenix would come back, destroying all spells and traps. So you kind of got that Dark Hole Heavy Storm going off each turn, which can definitely drain the opponent's resources and leave them open for a direct attack with Phoenix. Plus, then they can never grab and touch Phoenix, because the one thing that they want to do is to run over Phoenix. It's only 24, so it's not even the attack barrier, so they want to run it over so it can't be special summoned for the graveyard, because it's only special summoned when it's destroyed by card effects. So if you destroy a battle, it doesn't come back. But they can't grab the Phoenix because during your end phase, Terra Incarnate goes off and wipes the field. So before it's even their turn, Phoenix is gone. And then during your standby phase, Phoenix is back. So it's definitely a pain, and it's one of my favorite combos. The reason why I took it out is because I would always draw Phoenix, and drawing Phoenix is probably the worst thing you can do because he's a fire and you can't discard him, and he's just a pain. He's kind of a dead draw sometimes. But in this deck, I had to drop him back in, and I'll explain to it once I get to the spell card. We run 2 Fire King High Avatar Garunix. He is the new guy in the deck, and he is definitely good. During the next standby phase, this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to graveyard. You can special summon him from the graveyard and destroy all other monsters on the field. So that's your opponent's standby phase and your standby phase, that he comes back and destroys all. I really don't have to worry about his other effect. When he's destroyed by battle, you can special summon a Fire King monster from your deck except for him. So once he's destroyed by battle, I can't special summon another one, and I don't run any other Fire Kings in this deck. I mean, you guys who want to do a Fire King Yubel deck can go ahead, but really I only need him. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but the Yubel Inferno Part 2 video, I wasn't sure if I could do this loop, but I kinda thought I could. I don't know, you tell me. They summoned a monster, I activated Onslaught and special summoned a Garunix. Then I foolished another Garunix, a monster reborned it. So one Garunix would die due to the Onslaught. Next standby phase, my opponent's standby phase, it would come back, destroy a monster in the field, destroying this Garunix that special summoned monster reborn. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe those two just keep on tagging out and destroying all monsters on the field. So that is a great opening, because during their standby phase, all the monsters are destroyed, which they probably don't have anything knowing how Garunix is, but during your standby phase, so after they set their monster and try to protect themselves, Garunix comes back, wipes on the field, killing the other Garunix, so save him for your opponent's next standby phase, attack them directly, and just keep on tagging out, He definitely works great with Yubel because he can just upgrade Terra Incarnate for you if you want to. I mean, Terra Incarnate's on the field, you can call or Monster Reborn him when he's in the graveyard. Terra Incarnate would destroy him, then he would come back and destroy Terra Incarnate, summoning Ultimate Nightmare. So then you have Garunix and Ultimate Nightmare in the field. So definitely a way to help each other out. So these are the things that make it a Yubel Inferno deck: the 1 Sacred Phoenix and the 2 Garunixes. Next we got our staples, you know, Staple Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, the Foolish, and the Rhoda. So you guys know that you gotta have those. Those are like essential in every single Yubel deck. You don't gotta run the Solemn if you don't want to. Most people that play Yubel don't even run Solemn, so Solemn's not really staple in Yubel deck, but you gotta have that Rhoda to get your Armageddon Knights and your Dark Greffers. Foolish is just like Armageddon Knight, Dark Greffer, except for any monsters, so you can even send Phoenixes and stuff, and Garunix. Your Heavy Storm, your Dark Hole, and your Monster Reborn, your Terra trio, so definitely run those. 2 Pot of Dualities. Pot of Duality has become, like I said, it's become a semi-staple. It is definitely a good card. I wish it didn't go down to 2. I loved that 3. You reveal the top 3 cards, and then you get to add one to your hand. Make sure you can't special summon, but when you activate this, it's either usually during the beginning of the duel, where you're not planning on special summoning anyway, where your opening turn is like Armageddon Knight, drop Yubel, set the limit reverse. So why don't you just throw a Pot Duali in there and reveal the top 3 cards? Oh look, wow, a swing or another limit reverse. So Pot Duali definitely helps. You also use it when Terra Incarnate is stalling on the field. You activate Pot Duali, reveal the top 3. Oh look, it's something that I needed that was on the 3rd turn away that I'm trying to stall out to, so might as well get it. And let me end my turn and not special summon, like normal summon anything, because if they're turn to, I don't get my Ultimate Nightmare. So because Terra's on the field, there's Pot, get your card and end. So there's nothing they can activate to. I mean, they can still compulse, but if they had that face down, oh well, you ran into it, it's fine, you'll be okay. But don't make it your fault because you summoned a monster and they turned with you. We got 3 Swing of Memories. Some people play Swing of Memories, some people play Silent Doom. In my opinion, I like Swing of Memories better because I can attack with it. That's what makes it good. Going up against Dino Rabbits, of course, since they're going against the Yubel deck, of course they're going to want to summon Dokas to negate my effects, because Terra Incarnate would just kill Logia like that. So they're going to summon Doka. Doka has 23, swing from my Doom Shaman graveyard. He's 24, run it over, then use my effect to summon from the graveyard. So in my opinion, I just like swing better. I mean, sometimes it could be a problem because I activate swing, summon Doom Shaman, use my normal summon for its effect, and then they Veiler me, and then swing would destroy Doom Shaman and then return. I mean, that's a problem, but I'd much rather have the advantage of me being able to attack than having to stand field, because if I'm planning on syncering or summoning Yubel, it's going to leave the field anyway, so I'd rather get that attack in and get that damage in. The new star card, this is the reason why I decided to run this Phoenix Yubel deck and run the Phoenixes and the Grunics, is this card right here, Onslaught of the Fire King. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, so sometimes you go second, or sometimes you summon Armageddon Knight, drop Yubel, set the limit reverse, they attack and kill your Armageddon Knight, then you go, oh, well look, I have no monster on my field, and you have a monster on your field because you just killed my Armageddon Knight. Bam, Onslaught of the Fire King. They control monster, you control a monster, special summon 1 fire beast, beast warrior, or wing beast. So we don't care about beast or beast warrior. It's all about the fire wing beast from your deck, but its effect is negated and it will be destroyed during the end phase. You can only activate once per turn, which is understandable. So bam, activate this, special summon 1 fire beast, wing beast from my deck. Can you say Sacred Phoenix of Memphis or Grunix? Oh, their effects are negated. Whatever. I don't need their effects, because their effects don't pertain to the situation. During the end phase, they're going to be destroyed, and their effects activate in the graveyard, so effects aren't negated anymore. And if it's Grunix, he'll come back during the opponent's demo phase and kill all their monsters. So he'll kill the monster that killed Armageddon Knight. Or during my next standby phase, Phoenix is back, destroy spells and traps. Oh, look, chain, my limit reverse that I set. Oh, so summon Yubel. Yubel is destroyed. Summon Terra Incarnate. There we go. There we got the Terra Phoenix loop right there. That was set up much faster than using hand and all those other cards and neat cards. So definitely this is what made me reconsider putting in the Phoenixes and making this deck. So definitely 3 of those. This is definitely a good card to have, especially early game, because I can summon a 27B that will wipe the field, or Phoenix sometimes, that will wipe the spells and traps. We have 3 magical mallets. This is a personal taste. I kind of made this Yubel deck quick, and I was definitely thinking of the best method to handle the Phoenixes in my hand. Sure, magical mallet can resolve other bad Yubel situations, such as drawing too many Yubels with no Dark Grepher, but definitely this magical mallet is for making sure and pushing those Phoenixes back into the deck so I can activate my Onslaught, because once they're in my hand, I can't act. The Phoenix / Grunixes have to be in the deck to summon. So definitely 3 to keep them in there, and hey, if I get a bad hand with Yubel, hey, I mean, it's a -1, and usually I would like to run reload over Magical Mallet because I don't trust myself to pick, but Magical Mallet, I'm gonna have to trust myself to pick, because sometimes I just want those Phoenixes back in the deck. Maybe I don't want to send the Armageddon in the swing in the limit reverse. So Magical Mallet, just put the Phoenixes back in the deck where they belong so I can activate my Onslaught. So that's the reason why I'm 3. I mean, it's a personal preference. If you don't want to run it, don't run it. And as you guys can see, I don't run any MSTs. I don't know, I kind of stepped away from MST for a little while, and I want this deck to be as quick and as sleek as possible, so it's 40 cards with the Magical Mallet, and Puzzle, so I'm definitely going to be faster and keeping more control than the last few Yubel decks that made that were like 45 cards. So now we're here to traps, 3 Call the Haunteds. I love bringing back from the graveyard, so of course you guys know that I get my ass kicked by Necro Valley, so that's a problem, but what you gonna do? So Call, you can bring back a Phoenix to be destroyed by Terra Incarnate, you can bring back a Runix to be destroyed by Terra Incarnate, or be destroyed by another Runix. You can bring back Doom Shaman to summon Yubel, or summon Tinker and sink for 8. You can chain Call the Hunted with an MST to summon your Yubel, destroy it, summon Terror. Call the Hunted just has so many great possibilities, and I'm glad it's at 3, and I never wanted to go back down to when it was at 1. 3 Limit Reverse. You have to run 3 Limit Reverse. If you do not run 3 Limit Reverse and a Yubel deck, smack yourself. Because Limit Reverse is the best trap in the deck. Now you guys are thinking, well, Call the Hunted has more targets. Yes, it does. But Limit Reverse gets the one target that sometimes you just want. I mean, if you're desperate and you activate Call the Hunted and block with Yubel deck, and block with Yubel, okay, but now what? You better hope that your opponent Heavy Storms or Torrentals or UMST that Call the Hunted, because now you have Yubel sitting there on the field. Either you're gonna have to tribute a monster, or Yubel's just gonna die and you just wasted your Call the Hunted. Limit Reverse, on the other hand, summons Yubel, just like Call the Hunted, and when that monster is changed to defense position, it's destroyed. So, can you say free Terra Incarnate? Every Yubel player knows about this card, and if you don't, get this card. It's 8 cents. If you're running a Yubel deck, get this card. It is a beautiful card. So, your opponent attacks, Limit Reverse, block your attack. Oh, okay. My turn, turn to defense, it's destroy Terra Incarnate, and my turn, wipe the field. Heretics hate me. Heretics hate me. I just summon an Armageddon Knight and drop Yubel and set 1 card, and they're just like, oh, time to make my OTK push, and they use up all their hand to try to do their push and interact with me directly and game me. I'm just like, Limit Reverse, summon Yubel. Oh, wait, you stopped your attack? Oh, okay. How many cards you got in your hand? 1, 2? Oh, okay, defense, destroy, terror, and wipe the field? Oh, heretic player, oh, you're bad at top decking, I'm sorry, and I beat their ass. So, Limit Reverse, always at 3, all day, every day, love this card. And 2 Torrential Tributes, because, hey, sometimes you just need to pop your opponent's cherry with a nice Torrential, or even pop your own cherry, you know? I mean, what if they tried to, what if you summon Phoenix and they try to bottomless trap hole? You chain your Torrential. Or what if you just have a bad hand and you just need to get your opponent's monster out of the way? Chain Torrential. What if your opponent monster avoids your Yubel? Chain a Torrential. Because, I'm not sure if you guys know, I'm not sure if they changed the, its owner can special summon. So, they may be the controller if they monster owner, but you are the owner. So, once Yubel is destroyed, you can choose to, if you want to special summon Terra Incarnate. It is definitely one of my favorite plays because they get desperate and they want to monster born my Yubel because they think that Yubel is a wall that will protect them as long as they can keep on feeding it their monsters. And in the end, I will kill it. I'll summon a Scrap Dragon and kill it. So, not only to get it out of my way of what I'm doing, but just to give me my Terra Incarnate. So Yubel players who mirror match each other, be careful of that. If you monster reborn their Yubel and it's destroyed, they get the effect. It's like Sangan, you know? If you monster reborn my Sangan and then it's destroyed, I get to search. It's my Sangan. So, it's my Yubel, despite you being the controller of it. It's my Yubel, I'm the owner. So, when it's destroyed, I get the Terra Incarnate. So, hey, Torrential is a beautiful card. I'm glad it's a 2. I'm not really a fan of Mirror Force. Sometimes I'd rather destroy the monsters before they can attack. you know, because you had to attack with Mirror Forces. That's a lot of time between you summoning a monster and you attacking, because I don't know, if I'm sitting on a Mirror Force, you could summon a Scrap Dragon and pop it. While if you summon even just the cards as synchro for a Scrap Dragon, I'm probably going to turn to you before you summon Stardust. So, Turtle, I just like it better in my opinion. So this deck is 40 cards, 16 monsters, 16 spells, 8 traps. It is definitely faster than other Yubel decks, so I mean, there's staple cards missing. If you want to toss the 2 MSTs in here, make it 42, go ahead, be my guest. But this deck profile is for you guys, and this is just the way I like it. I like it nice and fast like this. And I don't know, I'm just kind of checking a step away from MST for a little while. We got 3 Black Blue Dragos. Black Blue Drago is the synchro of synchros. If you can synchro and you really can't think of anything that you want to synchro into, like nothing urgent, like, oh, I need to summon Star Dragon, or I need to summon Scrap Dragon and destroy them. I just need a beater. If you just need a beater, go with Black Blue Drago, because he's a 3000 beater. Once per turn, you can send a Gemini monster from your hand to the graveyard to select and destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls. So, I mean, I will have a Doom Shaman in the graveyard, and you Doom Shaman, and you use Black Blue Drago to pop the spell trap. Why not? But what definitely makes him good is when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can select one Gemini monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and the special summon monster is treated with its effect. So it has its effect. So, you let me synchro summon, I summon Black Blue Drago. Solemn Warning or Solemn Judgment. Okay, the summon's negated. It doesn't need to be on the field, so it's just destroyed, and I get to summon my Doom Shaman with its effect. Summon Tinker, Sync 4, 8, Black Blue Drago again. Why not? Or something else if I want to. Sometimes I want to use a bullet, and the only thing I have on my field is Black Blue Drago and the Scrap Dragon. I mean, if it's really a problem, I will use my Scrap Dragon to destroy Black Blue Drago, to destroy one of your cards, then summon Doom Shaman, get its effect, summon Tinker, and sync for another Black Blue Drago, because he can just come back, sort of. I mean, that's why I run 3, because there's 3,000 beaters that basically summon each other. The Black Blue Drago is definitely one of my favorite synchros in here, and if you're using synchro in your Yubel deck, you should definitely consider running Black Blue Drago, just because Doom Shaman is a Gemini monster. We got the Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon is definitely for those offensive pushes. Just having a Terra Incarnate sitting there, your opponent's going to stop playing monsters because they're going to stop wasting resources and build up to take out not only the Terra Incarnate but the Ultimate Nightmare that comes after it. So instead of just waiting for your opponent to make that push, how about you make the push and turn it from Terra Incarnate to Scrap Dragon plus Ultimate Nightmare, because you can summon Scrap Dragon, use effect, target Yubel, target one of the back rows, destroy, and summon Ultimate Nightmare. So that's definitely a change of pace, and if your opponent is not ready to face down a Scrap Dragon and an Ultimate Nightmare, they're in big trouble, because that's a pretty good duo. We have Dark End Dragon. I know in the Yubel Inferno matches, I actually put in Crimson Blader, but I'm not sure if Crimson Blader will come out in the TCG. If he comes out, I'll get him, but if he doesn't, it's fine. So I tried to lean a little bit more realistic here, because I'm not sure if he's coming out. Plus, he's really, really good. When you destroy opponent's monster with him, they can't special summon any level 5s or higher, so it's really good. So instead, I just took him out and I put back in Dark End Dragon. You got those problem monsters that if they're just they can't be destroyed by card effect, or something bad will happen if you do it, such as Zen mains. How about you just summon Dark End Dragon here, and he sends them to the graveyard. He doesn't destroy them, just send them. So summon your Zen mains. I'll just summon my Dark End Dragon and send it. Summon your Tyrus or your Aegis. Dark End Dragon, send it. I can't remember which one is which, so correct me if I'm wrong. That's why I just said both. He's definitely not my favorite of the synchros, and if Crimson Blader existed, I'd rather run him over Crimson Blader over Dark End Dragon, because, I mean, if it's a Zen mains, I can just summon Stardust Dragon and negate their destruction effect. So, but, hey, Dark End Dragon, he's cheap, and he's here, and he's real in the TCG, so. Of course, we got our Stardust Dragons. Our Stardust can negate the destruction of Yubel and other various cards, and he is also a Terra Incarnate upgrade. Like I said before, you have Terra Incarnate and summon Stardust, you can negate Terra Incarnate's destruction effect, destroy it, and summon Ultimate Nightmare. So, Ultimate Nightmare Stardust versus your opponent, that's pretty strong, because usually they would have to use like a power card to get rid of that Ultimate Nightmare, since it can't be destroyed battle, and of course Stardust won't let you do that. So, Darkle? No, I don't think so. Torrential? No. Mirror Force? No. Even those little cards such as, I don't know, Fissure or Smashing Ground? Just, no. Because Stardust is here. So, it's Stardust. I mean, if you can Synchro for 8, hey, Stardust. We have Evil Swarm Thontanos. I know Thontanos doesn't exist in the TCG, and it makes me very sad. As soon as he comes out, I will buy him so quick. I don't care how much he costs, because he is just that good. He is 2 level 4 Dark Monsters, so all the 2 level 4 monsters in my deck, I'm getting in Dark Grepher. And for those of you who want to run Tomato, I took Tomato out of this deck, because I don't want a monster in the field with Onslaught. That's the reason why. Before you ask me, you can summon the Sky. He's 2350, so his attack is, you know. If he was 24, better. If he was 25, that'd be great. If he was 26, that'd be beautiful, because he'd be over the attack barrier. But 2350 is fine. I mean, he's higher than Chaos Sorcerer. Once per turn during either player's turn, so spell speed 2, you can detach and see material from this card. This card is unaffected by the effect of other effect monsters until the end fate. So, someone thought to us. Oh, did you attack into a Raikou? Okay, detach. No, I'm not affected by your destruction. Oh, you summoned Chaos Sorcerer? You're 2300, I'm 2350, so I'm 50 higher than you? Oh, you want to banish me? Okay, detach, I'm not affected by you. Oh, I special summon my Garunix from my graveyard, and he destroys all monsters on the field? Oh, detach. Oh, I'm not affected by that, so kill everything else, but leave Thontanos alone. Oh, it's my end phase, Terra Incarnate goes off and destroys all monsters on the field? No, how about just to detach, and he's not affected by that. Evil Swarm Thontanos is a beautiful card, and he has saved me plenty of times. Oh, I forgot another one that I like. Oh shit, you keep on bouncing shit back to my hand with Grand Mole. Oh, summon Thontanos? Oh, Grand Mole me now, bitch. Oh, you want to attack and bounce me? How about detach? I'm not affected. And guess what? Now we battle, so I kill you. I mean, I'm not sure. I think Grand Mole can bounce itself back before the battle can occur. But hey, at least Thontanos isn't gone. So Thontanos is a beautiful card, and I know that he's not out yet. And I know I didn't run on Kinsblade because he's not out yet either, but I couldn't pass up on running Thontanos. He is just too beautiful of a card, and I love him. We got Hero Champion Excalibur, 2 level 4 warrior type monsters, so once again, Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher, or Armageddon, Dark Grepher, whatever it may be. He is good for running over those problem cards that can get in Yubel's way. For example, Stardust. Not a Starlight Road Stardust, I mean the real Stardust that can keep on negating. I could really care less about your Starlight Road, because you're probably going to activate it to my Terra Incarnate, so I'll still go out to a Nightmare, and then, I'm not sure, it depends on what my hand is. I might just make the push and just attack it, so of course you're going to negate it, and then no more. But the real Stardust that will keep on coming back and causing problems for me, how about I just summon Excalibur and just cut it in half? Just cut that Stardust in half. It goes up to 4,000 attack once you detach it to exhibit materials till the end of your opponent's next turn. So even on your opponent's next turn, he's still 4,000, so he's a wall in himself. Definitely ran over some of them problem cards. I ran over Shien. I ran over Heraclinos. So just to get rid of the problem cards with him. He is definitely a good card, and he comes in 10, so he's cheap. So if you guys run Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher and you want some Xyz, I recommend that you run Excalibur. And last one, we have Still Swarm Roach. He's expensive, so, but he's actually coming out in 10. I called it again, guys. I don't know. I've called almost every single card that has came in the 10s, and I said, they're like, well, what's next? And I said, Still Swarm Roach Photon Strike Bouncer, and they're like, boop, right there. So some people think that I'm psychic, and some people think that I work for Konami. Maybe I do. No, I don't. I wish. Anyway, Still Swarm Roach. He is 2 level 4s, 19 beater. When a level 5 or higher would be special summoned, you can detach to negate it and destroy it. So, hey, your opponent Chaos Dragons, they try to special summon whatever, just like detach, negate, destroy, synchro summon, and it doesn't say your opponent's monster, so hey, what if you want to upgrade to the next Yubel form? Hey, so what if you have Storm Roach, your opponent, well, let's go back to that Monster Reborn example. You have Storm Roach, your opponent Monster Reborn, your Yubel. Detach, negate the summon, destroy it. When it's destroyed, special summon your Terra Incarnate. You can also do it for you too. You know, it's kind of like Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning, a Yubel. So it's like the Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning, Yubel. I never do this, but if you tribute for Yubel and your opponent Solemn Judgments or Solemn Warnings, they pay their life points, the summon was negated, and then it's destroyed. So Yubel just says when it's destroyed, it doesn't need to be on the field. So it's destroyed, and you get to summon your Terra Incarnate. And of course, they can't Solemn Judgment or Solemn Warning from like inherited effects. So Still Some Roach is definitely like that. So if they summon from like a Tomato, I don't believe that you can do that. Or Solemn Warning, I'm not sure. I know Solemn Warning you can't, so if like they attack a Tomato and you summon Yubel, they can't Solemn Warning the Yubel. So, hey, Still Some Roach is a good, and just puts them in a bind and pushes them against the wall and allows me to do the things that I want to do. So, once again, if you're looking for some level 4s, hey, Still Some Roach is about to come out in the Prophecy Destroyer 10, so check him up. It'll probably be $10 after he comes out in the 10. I don't know, it seems like all the cards that are coming in the 10 are like $10, so he'll probably be $10 in himself, but hey, it's cheaper than $21, $22. So, this was the Yubel Inferno deck, of course. There's side cards, but I didn't feel like building the side deck and going into that. I mean, there's plenty of side cards to go into. I mean, if you guys want to see what cards that you should put in your Yubel side deck, go ahead and comment and tell me, hey, can you do a side deck video? Because, of course, I know what cards to put in a Yubel deck side deck, because I've been working on Yubel for 5 years. So, I just wanted to just make it to pay attention to this deck and not worry about the side deck. So, we'll leave that for another video. So, I apologize for the long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And, like I said, I just wanted to be the first one in line to show you a Yubel Garunix deck, which people definitely want to see, because Fire Kings are blown up. So once the Fire King comes out and people want to run a Yubel and a Fire King deck, you got an example right here. So you don't have to make it exactly like mine, but I hope mine helps. So I'll be back tomorrow with more Vitamin Y using this deck, so get to see some more gameplay with this deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed. So do the usual, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.